Welcome back! This is part 2 of our journey on the Jacksonville-Baldwin Rail Trail. Today I'm going to start off where we left off in part 1, which was about here, and we're going to ride all the way down 6.7 miles to Otis Rd. There's a parking lot here for the trail that you can park at. Let's continue on our journey. I'm a little out of breath, but I wanted to stop for a second, not because I'm out of breath, but because I wanted to show you this. There are speed limits on the rail trail. Motorized vehicles are not allowed on the trail. I think these speed limit signs are basically put here to let cyclists who like to go really fast know there are limitations to how fast they're allowed to go. Do you think anyone follows that? Probably not. But they're there anyways to kind of clue people in. Hey, you might not want to go so fast. There are pedestrians on the trail. There are people who rollerblade. There are children walking and bicycling. Oh, I'm out of breath. I'm a little bit out of shape, just a little bit. So I just wanted to point that out anyway. I thought that was kind of funny and interesting. Speed limit sign on a paved trail. I wanted to point out these high tension power lines here behind me. The reason being, they actually cross over the trail. I don't know if you could see them. I can't see in my viewfinder here, but I never ride under these. And there's one reason in particular. That reason being, every time I ride under them, I get zapped with electricity from my bicycle. I don't know if this is something everybody experiences when they ride through this section of the trail, but every single time I ride under these power lines, I get zapped. So, I've learned this section of the trail. It seems stupid, it seems ridiculous, but it sure beats getting zapped the whole time you're riding under these power lines. So a little something funny and weird to point out. This section of the trail where I get zapped, it's at mile marker 11, so maybe something you'll want to pay attention to when you're riding by mile marker 11. Something I want to point out about the western half of the trail, for the most part, it's very shaded. That's why I prefer riding on the western half of the trail. That's one of the reasons why I prefer riding on the western half of the trail. The other reason being that the western half tends to be much quieter of people. So if you want a really quiet, peaceful ride, you don't want to be dodging little kids on their tricycles and families walking 5 abreast down the trail, by all means, use the west half of the trail. It's a much nicer section. In my opinion, you may prefer the east half of the trail, but this is me. One thing that I really appreciate about this trail is they make a point to put trash cans every once in a while and benches. I could use a bench right about now. Well, I'm taking a break here on this lovely bench. Beautiful, cool breeze blowing on me. It feels so good. Horses are allowed on the trail. So if you own a horse, you like riding, bring your horse along on the trail by all means. It's allowed. This is a relatively new rest area here. As of, I'm gonna say, I don't know, the last maybe 6 months. And I'm recording this in, what is this, June 1st, 2020 now. But this is a nice little area that they created here. It sits back from the trail a bit. You see the trails over there. They've got a couple of picnic tables here, a bike rack. They've got an area here to do pull-ups, I guess. Kind of strange, but if you're not tired enough from biking like I am, you could do that. I'd be more inclined to use the picnic tables over here and eat. But this is a nice area though. It's very tranquil. There's a beautiful field over there. Can't really see too well through the trees, fortunately, but it's really nice. Great place to take a break and picnic if you want. The closer towards the eastern half of the trail you get, the more roads there are that you have to cross. They do put a stop line here and stop signs for the cyclists. The traffic crossing does not stop or yield, so please be careful when you're here crossing the road. There's a parking area here. Today I started where we left off in part one, roughly there. We rode all the way to, I believe, Otis Rd, which was 6.7 miles. Well, that was a great ride, but I am tired now, so I'm gonna call it a day at this point. Stay tuned for part 3 of this video series on the Jacksonville-Baldwin Rail Trail. I said in the first part that there's probably going to be 3 parts to this trail series. I think there's going to end up being 4 parts based on how far I got today in the second part. So stay tuned for part 3 and subsequently part 4. Thanks for watching.